Howdy, folks, and welcome to another episode of I Hope This Doesn't Suck. Today we're going to be talking about what happened last night. We're going to be talking about the problems with failure, the benefits of failure, and the difference between a meaningful photo and a profitable photo. Or just profitable work versus meaningful work, meaning, i.e., we'll get into it. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and just get into it. Last night I recorded an entire podcast, and I didn't do any testing. And now for some reason my mic is doing this thing where it's got this almost like I can't mimic the noise very well. But just now I sat here and I tried to fix it for a good little while. So I'm hoping that it works. And I recorded an entire podcast last night. Last night was supposed to be the first time I uploaded a video podcast sort of deal. And clearly that didn't work out. Hopefully today's will. If you're watching this, it worked out. Good news. If not, anyway. So yeah, it just got me thinking about the failure and the failure aspect and how I handled it. I did not handle it super well. I handled it fairly poorly. I got super upset, and I was just like, it was a whole thing. And it's like, I'm not a teenage kid. I shouldn't be getting so pissed off about shit like this, right? And frankly, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. For beyond that, getting into creative ruts sucks. And it's not necessarily that this is a creative rut, but it was something that just kind of like pushed me over the edge to not make something. And it brings me back to the idea of a creative rut. Whatever thing you do, whether you make videos, whether you do photography, whether you're a painter, an artist. I had my little spat with drawing. That was like one of the hardest things for me to get over was artist block. I know writers get writer's block. But I had artist block because like I didn't know what to draw. I didn't know how to draw what I wanted to draw. I could not, get what was in my head out onto paper. And that was a bummer, and the same thing happens with photography. You do so much of it and you just kind of fall, and I don't want to say fall out of it, because you don't fall out of it. But it gets stale after a while, and then you need to step out of your comfort zone, do something you're not comfortable doing. Maybe, go shoot some specific kind of way, do something a little different, and then get yourself out of it. But in the amount of time that you're having that creative rut, it feels like forever, because here's something you really like to do. Like for me, I really love doing photography, but in that time, you don't want to do it. And when you have something that you really enjoy doing and you can't do it because of something that directly relates to you, that's a problem. That's an issue. That bums me out, because like what am I supposed to do, obviously there are other things to life, but that's beyond the point. But yeah, no, last night I recorded an entire podcast. It was all about Hypebeast stuff and Supreme, and I just kind of tore into Supreme a little bit. And honestly, all things considered, it wasn't even that good anyway. So, today's a new day, and it got me thinking again, meaningful versus profitable. And when I say profitable, I mean, monetarily, sure, something that'll make you money. But I also mean, I guess virtually profitable, meaning you're going to see those numbers on Instagram. You're going to see those numbers on YouTube. You're going to see those numbers anywhere with the content that is going to be profitable. And obviously meaningful content is the cornerstone. I think it's the most important. And sometimes meaningful content can be profitable. Some of the most famous photographs in the world, like the monk setting himself on fire, they were profitable for the photographer. That made that photographer super duper famous. But I'm talking more in like a current standpoint. You see in the type of style of photography that a lot of people do on Instagram, or the type of videos that a lot of people do on YouTube. With like for the YouTube side of things, you see the sick B-roll, the slow-mo, the craziness, and it's all just for a tutorial on how to fix your audio, right? Whereas, people release like Frono's Photo released an entire story. It was beautiful. It was about a man who was dying, and it was an interview with him, and he talked about his life, and that's so like awesome. Like, it's beautiful to see that kind of stuff. But that's meaningful, and you compare the views between a video, like the video that I would say before, where you're getting in the millions, and then you compare it to the Frono's Photo story about the gentleman who was dying and should have more of an impact, and that's got like 10,000, 15,000. It's interesting. But I think something that we all need to remember is the meaningful content should be just that. It's yours. It means something, right? And whether you get likes, whether you get comments, whether you get subscribers from it should not matter, because you put it out there because you simply just wanted to. It's something you wanted to do. If you want the subscribers, if you want the likes, if you want that extra love on Instagram, you're going to conform to the Instagram or the YouTube way. And that's on YouTube. It's by saying, I can't believe this thing happened. You clickbait them in. And on Instagram, you get something that's crazy and, moody and close up, and it has some sort of action going on, or it's a composite or something like that. And that's just the way that you do it. That is the nature of the beast, as they say. It's I don't know. It's interesting. I think that there should be more meaningful content out there, but I understand at the same time why there's not. And it's because people don't react to meaningful content nearly as much as they react to that thing that's just like, boom, here you go, right in your face. We got this thing going on. It's cool. Whatever. I don't know. That's just my take on it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments on YouTube, or message me on Instagram at lrntz.jpg. Had to get the plug in there. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. And right now I am kind of eating my words about 4K versus 1080p. This is going to be boring for any of you who aren't into videography or photography or tech shit, whatever. But 4K, the files are huge. And I think 4K is great. I really do. I think 4K is awesome because it gives you a lot more versatility. The reason that I shoot this in 4K is because I like to be able to throw it into 1080p timeline, and then I get another angle. Which is really cool. I really enjoy that about 4K. What I don't really enjoy about 4K is how big the files are, how hard it is to get that file into Adobe Premiere to edit, because then I also have to create a proxy, which takes another 20-30 minutes for it to encode in Adobe Premiere or Adobe Media Encoder. And it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes I do wish I could just shoot 1080p. But the camera that I use, that one right there, that camera, is the Lumix GX85. And unfortunately, it doesn't shoot 1080p in 24 frames per second, which is kind of an oversight on Panasonic's part. 100%. Don't know why they wouldn't include that in there. So I'm stuck to recording 4K so I can get 24 frames per second. Whatever. But yeah, no, I guess what I was really, the whole thing with today is, yesterday was not a good day for this podcast because there was no podcast. There were just issue after issue after issue, and, I'm hoping to have resolved them today. And that got me into thinking of meaningful versus, profitable, and, just kind of dealing with the harsh reality that sometimes you're just going to fail. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. But in the end, it's worth it because it's a learning experience. It gets you to where you want to be. And there's nothing better than that. I don't think, at least. So I think that's where I'm going to call it. This has been I Hope This Doesn't Suck, episode 6. Let me check the time here. The time now is 10:13 p.m. It's April 11th. Guys, if you listened, watched the video, thanks so much. If you dug the video, maybe hit that like button. Maybe subscribe. I hate when people just badger you with, don't forget to smash that like. You gotta just get it in there. Just do it. God, just go for it. Just get that like button. You smash it. If you liked it, though, maybe hit that like button. If you want to see more of this, I plan on making more of these video podcasts. They might not all be video podcasts. Maybe every once in a while there'll be a video podcast. I don't know. I'm just kind of fucking winging it. Hit that subscribe button too. It's a good time. Maybe I'll make other stuff too. Maybe it won't only just be I Hope This Doesn't Suck. I know stuff. Maybe I'll teach you how to do something. I don't know. If you're interested, leave some shit in the comments. Beyond that, folks, have a wonderful night. And if you're watching this in the daytime, wonderful day. And that's it.